here we are again. I have notes again about VHS Viral, which is what I'm going to be reviewing today. If you are not interested in spoilers, even though the movie's not super new, that is basically what this series does, is I talk in depth about the plot and then how I personally review it. As the other VHSs go, it's the same sort of deal, where it has a main plot and then the anthology pieces, which are separate stories that either tie in or don't to the main plot. The main plot in this one, being VHS Viral, I think they were trying to go in a different way than I expected. I thought viral meant they were all going to be kind of like plague related or something, but they were more like internet viral sort of thought process, simulacra-esque sort of stuff. So it was a young adult couple is the main plot, a video call that causes like a supernatural suicide thing happens and the girl goes missing. After the first story, the police chase what seems to be like a supernatural ice cream truck. Don't ask me. There's no real clear link between the main stories at this point and the sub-stories. After sub-story 2, it seems like people are getting uneasy and violent. There is a comedic pet injury. The dog actor was clearly fine, so I was kind of like, meh. After the third one, there was kind of like a weird revenge porn car crash thing happening, and the only remote link I can think of is that everything was kind of handheld phone camera-esque, hence the whole like viral sort of thing. But a lot of the other VHS movies are like that anyway, hence the whole VHS thing. So I guess they were trying to realize and move away from the fact that like it doesn't have to be VHS tapes, it can be a digital video in a sense for it to continue to work. I'm assuming the upload is the same as like the video call shit. They mentioned videos as if they're a continuously known thing, like as if everybody in the world knows that they're, or like certain internet people maybe, I guess, like know that there's some weird snuffy video curse things happening. The girl in the original couple, at a certain point, she kind of mimics, there's this Cam Girl movie, I'll put up I can't remember what it was called, I want to say it was just called Cam. Really good horror movie, really well done, very adult in its theories and whatnots, or in its premise, but she kind of mimicked that movie a little bit towards the end. Like the last one, they insinuated that it would go viral and kill everyone on the planet, and that means like a large majority, like it was going to go to all the phones and all the computers and all the TVs, so like it would be very hard for people not to see it. I don't think that's a particularly good ending. We can talk about that more, but I feel like it feels cheap because I know none of them are canonical in any way necessarily, but like to have a sort of a world-ending end to this does feel too big, and then it just, you can't have any more videos. Like, what happened with that? Like, if they have more movies of this, so it doesn't really make sense, but they don't canonically go from one movie to the other, so I guess it's okay for them to want to explore something like that. I just didn't like the ending as much. So, there are only 3 sub-stories. One, Dante the Great. It's about a magician. If you know me, you kind of know how I feel about magicians. Kind of crummy. But he basically got a possessed cloak that enabled him to basically kind of do whatever he wanted. Completely full of power and could do whatever he wanted, and he used it in his show primarily. I'm really not sure why a lot of what he did was filmed and then shown to us. Like, a lot of it was usually, in the other movies, was people filming something and then things started going wrong. And then they just kept filming, because that is something that humans who film stuff naturally like to do is just to continue filming. It helps, with a lot of different things. Like, it just makes sense to me. But, like, there was no real reason for him to be filming, or him to have someone filming murders and fight scenes, and, like, it didn't make any sense, but it had a lot of fun gore and a lot of fun special effects. Like, that one had some really top tier fun spooky stuff happening because he was, like, a Vegas on stage musician and stuff like that, magician and stuff like that. He was able to be even more over the top. The second one, I'm not really sure. It's kind of like Portal's alternate reality. And please note, this one was entirely in Spanish, which I super enjoyed. But subtitles are key. They're great. They were absolute perfection in most of it. The only thing I have to say about this one, a couple of things, okay? Not only. One is, oops, all murders. The second one was kind of, it's, I guess, futuristic Satanism in a sense, in this alternate reality. But the only thing I have to say, and the only reason to watch this movie, is hand, puppet, monster, penis. Hand, puppet, monster, penis. I don't need to explain it any farther. It is a hand puppet meant to look like a monster penis, and it's a major part of this story, and I cannot recommend it enough because of how ridiculous it is. And then the third story fell flat because how can you top hand puppet monster penis? You can't. But in the third one, it's skateboarders. They make a couple of really funny comments back and forth. They're just like the typical teens videoing stuff and going on their skateboarding what's-its. It's unclear if it was humans or something more supernatural that got, like, accidentally summoned in this one. It was very unclear. It was very unclear who survived and who didn't. It was unclear, like, the whole ending of that one was very unclear, and I did not enjoy it. So it ended that, and then it goes back to the viral ending I was talking about, where it gets uploaded to the entire planet, basically. Like, anyone who has an internet connection is going to see this fucking thing, and then it's going to fuck with your brain, and fucking with your brain is then going to make you either kill yourself or kill other people. So basically no one is safe, and the planet is going to basically, like, kind of implode in that sense. So to have two kind of shitty endings back to back was really unfortunate for this film, because if they had kept the momentum that they had gotten from, like, the really good special effects from the magician and then hand puppet monster penis, they didn't stick that landing in two ways, because then there was a third story and then the actual ending. So, like, they got 50% of it really good, I thought, and parts of the main plot were fun to watch and fun to go back to, because I was really hoping there was going to be something more to do with this, like, supernatural ice cream truck, but it was kind of just a truck full of tech. It didn't seem to have anybody in it or any sort of anything other than this was, like, the upload site for whatever this thing is that's sentient and controlling itself and trying to get out to other people, but it still needs a person to, like, push the button. I've never really understood that sort of thing in supernatural films, where you have an entity that can control so much but then can't press the button. Like, if it can do all of that, it should have been able to do that. But I will still give this one 6 out of 10. Not 7, 6 out of 10. Would have gotten 7 if the main plot and the third story had been a little bit stronger, but it does get 6 out of 10 for the first story with the magician and hand puppet monster penis, because I just want a shirt now that says hand puppet monster penis, honestly. But I'll probably have to make it. But anyway, that is my synopsis and review of VHS Viral. The next one we're going to do, I believe, is 94, and then 99, which is the newest one. So we're approaching kind of the halfway mark of reviewing these movies. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I really hope that you also enjoy it, and I'm going to continue doing horror movies. I'm not really looking for suggestions. I have a whole lineup of movies that I want to do, and the VHS ones were kind of just casual because I knew the new one was coming out, and I wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything canonical going on, because I know sometimes movies do that. They go back and they harken back to like the first and second one, so I wanted to revisit everything. But yeah, I do have 2 more in this series to conclude before I potentially jump back into what started all of this, which was the Iceberg of Horror version of this, which the next movie would then be the original Saw, because of how the Iceberg of Horror is set up. Please do let me know which one you're more interested in. I'm going to be doing both regardless, but I would be curious to see if you care whether one is uploaded before the others. And I hope you have a great day. And remember, don't call me by my government name.